Hi, I'm Mary Jo Boyd, here with another eBite from Attorney Computer Systems. Today's eBite is in Tabs3. Have you ever wanted to set up a specific rate for a specific timekeeper on a matter? Well, I'm going to show you how to do that using a rate table. So I'm going to go into my client information and go to a client, and I'm just going to pick somebody in here. So we're just going to do Michael Larson, and we'll go to the rate tab, and we see that we have some different options in here. Normally, and this is actually a flat fee matter, so let me get a different matter here. There we go. So normally when we come in here, we have a fee rate table that we can set up, or we can set up rates by timekeeper level, or the default, if neither one of these things is defined, is to just use one of the rates that we've already defined for timekeepers. We can set up 6 of those, or we can designate a specific hourly rate and so on. So Tabs looks to see first if there is a fee rate table defined. And if there's not, it goes to the level. And if there's not, it goes to the timekeeper rate level here. So if we want to be specific and we don't want to use all of the timekeepers default rate number 1, maybe on this matter, one of our timekeepers needs to have a different rate, or all of the timekeepers need to have a special rate because we've negotiated that with the client. That's where fee rate tables come into play. Now we can set up custom fee rate tables that is specific to every single matter that we, create one for. We can create a custom and then share it with matters later on so that way any matter that uses those same rates, we've already defined a table, we've set up a custom, we can just share that with any matter that we want. Or we can use existing, which means we can use one of those custom tables that we defined. But if we make any changes to the custom table, it does not push out to any of the ones that are using an existing. If we share a table and we make any changes to the custom table, it will then push out to any of the tables that are sharing that custom table. So a couple of options there. So when we create one, I'm going to go ahead and click on the rate table. I'm going to use custom because I don't want to share a table that's already been created for this one. I want to create a brand new one. But if I did want to share, I would click the share, and then I could click and pick any of the ones that have been previously defined. So that's how you could choose one to share from. Or if I want to use existing, I don't want anything changes on the custom. I don't want those changes to push out here. Again, I still have the same list, and I could choose that to use an existing table that's already been there. It's so I don't have to recreate the wheel every time if the rates are the same for other matters. In our case, we're going to go ahead and do the custom. We're going to choose a timekeeper, number 1. I'm going to say on this matter for the Michael Larson elder law case, Michael Jensen is going to make $150 an hour. Maybe his default rate is $200, or maybe his default rate is $125. Whatever that is, I'm overriding that, and Tabs will pick this up first as the default. And then I save the rate. I then define any other timekeepers that I need to that would have a different rate than their default rate. So this one I'm going to say makes $200. Robert is going to make $200 an hour, and I'm going to save it. I could do every single timekeeper if I wanted to. I also could make these dates effective on a certain date. So later on, if I wanted to raise these rates, I know that in December of this year, December 31st, I want all the rates to go up $25. I could select this date, 12/31 of 19, and I could say timekeeper number 1. They're going to go from 150 to 175. Automatically now, any time entry rate that gets put in, the rate will automatically default on any rate transaction, I should say, dated 12/31 and after to the new rate. It'll automatically do it for me. So I can set these in advance. So I can say this one is going to be $225 as of 12/31, and I can save it. So now we can see that new rate is already defined in here, and it's there. Anytime after 12/31 time has been put in, we've got all the time prior to 12/31, I can come in and move those rates, which then automatically will shift the rate over to the first column. That way, I don't have, with 12/31 the following year, I could redefine those rates to go up another $25 an hour. And then after I've got all the time in prior to that date, I can move the rates again and keep it open. So it gives you that little projection there so that you can go ahead and add those rates in advance to keep track of what the rates are going to be coming up. Once you have everything defined and it's ready, you just save the table. Then it will say there is a rate table defined here. And Tabs will always look at that first when a timekeeper is putting time in for this specific matter. And it will default to those rates that you've defined in the rate table. If you have not defined a timekeeper in that table, I did not define like 2 and 3, timekeeper 2 and 3, it will go to whatever you've set down here as a timekeeper rate. So it will use timekeeper 2 and 3's default rate number 1. I hope this eBite's been helpful for you. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to visit our website or give us a call. Thanks.